It's the final game for us B-Stream bandits as Banks and Bismire will close today out. And there'll be no more B-Stream after this, Tom. We'll weep and cry just that little bit, yes. But we've got a good game to end it all with. It's going to be Luminosity taking on mousesports. And it's a Luminosity that online have looked shaky. They've not shown us mad impressive results. Yeah. Especially through the NA Pro League side of things. Now they come into this and they're getting somewhere. This is a chance for them here. mousesports, though, who we still... a great team, a team that you can't underestimate, but they've not been at least living up to potential thus far. There's Bastian, our observer, by the way.
He's ready.
Hard at work. Yeah, he's ready for his job. He's just chilling, walking behind us, no problem.
That's the one thing I do really like about this sort of glass war, is that if anybody is like mucking about...
Why are you looking at me?
No reason. No reason. There's clips.
Yeah, about 1 million people tweeted it to me. I was just happily sat there, right, in the background, and I'm like, cool, watching it all, seeing how things go down. And then all of a sudden, because I'm enjoying the game, it cuts to Jackie and Essio on the thing, and I'm just there vaping away. Oh, okay, I'll just hide. I'll just hide and avoid this. Yep, bye. Anyway, veto time. And this is where it gets dicey, because mousesports, their map pool used to be larger than what it is, but it's not anywhere near as bad as Luminosity.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. It's like all the things that I want to give like as positive signs for Luminosity is the sort of idea that individually they've got quite a few good players. Yeah. That's also the positive I give for mousesports, but on a higher level. And that's the biggest thing. It's like if your positives are also the biggest positive of your opposition, I just don't see there any way that they get away with this. And even just the map pool, I feel like we've got a very sort of puggy style map pool. And I think that that's just going to play very well into mousesports' hands.
Look at mousesports. What was it, only about a few months ago? They were the best team on Mirage. Just literally no one could challenge them on it. Cash has also been a map that mousesports can play. It's not the ideal, opportune map for them, but we're ready to get into the game and bring this your way. And this is certainly going to be an interesting series. I think there's a lot more pressure, at least on the shoulders of mousesports, but Luminosity's play into this is, okay, look, now it is our time to get this done. And those odds from Betway, I'm saying they're pretty fair. So I'll take that. I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, I think obviously we're going to be focused more on mousesports in this game. I don't think there's any argument there. Obviously they've gone back to the sort of roster that brought them a lot of success. Yeah. So I think most people agree that that was a pretty good move. Like Sticko being removed was quite surprising, in all honesty, to bring in Snacks. I understand the logic behind it. At least in his heyday, Snacks was absolute beast, but it just didn't really fit the role of the team, and they realized how integral he really was. And the other thing, like Chris J actually did the interview on HLTV, just literally went live before this game, actually didn't. He believes that this game, more so than many, is going to be about momentum.
That's just a very open-ended thing, because that could work well for both teams, but at least Chris is being honest on where he thinks this is going to go. It kind of says to me that it is almost 50-50 into play as well.
Either way, look at this. Straight towards the B site for mousesports. There's only one man. It's more of a retake, if anything. They're setting up. They've got the kit and the smoke onto Steel. I don't think there's too much he can do. Really just wants to find a frag on his way out, but already just going to be isolated. So this should just be a pretty much a walk in the park straight on. And if he can get something through the smoke, that would be fantastic. However, we are just going to have a 5v5, a bomb going down.
Always the way. Always the way. Back away, fight in, let's see if we can do it. Now, they've got a bit of utility, but it all has to be once this utility is spent, they go. There can't be any holding back now for Luminosity. Good positions from mousesports. All of Luminosity come from the same direction, though.
It gives them the chance to trade, but it also means that they can very easily line up for these Glocks. They're much more spammable weapon, especially with how close they're going to be coming. Rop's already finding a couple. Sunny is there to support as well. Steel and Yell, though, they've still made things interesting. The possibility is there. The problem is the time. It's ticking fast, and they just have to stick with the defuse, and he is cooking, but he's close. Unfortunately, not close enough.
Had that molly gone down 1-2 seconds later, that would have been Luminosity walking away with the pistol there, so... a fair retake, a good attempt, but it wasn't strong enough. mousesports do take the lead here and straight into a couple of AKs. I'm sure we'll see some SMGs alongside to farm up a bit of money in there as well. Though this isn't LDLC. It makes a change in how things are played out. Got a couple of Galils instead, and Oscar will be the man that opts for that MAC-10. Obviously wanting to secure himself the extra money for that AWP into the later rounds. And it's not nuke, so he doesn't have his auto shotgun. We don't get to see any more of that. That was banned out early on. And actually, mousesports are one of the teams that aren't from Denmark that's a capable nuke team now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of that is actually based on just Oscar really enjoys playing that map. It seems like from his face in his picture, he doesn't look like he enjoys too much. But I think that he'd probably flip that frown upside down when he plays a bit of nuke with the XM.
Flip that frown upside down. I like it. You should try that more often.
Nah. I think my unhappiness as a British person works for me.
But you're always happy with me, mate.
Yeah, let's go with that. Except when you sing songs.
Yeah, okay. Chat loved it, though. So did most of Twitter by the looks of it. I'm being spammed up.
Striker didn't. That's why I support him very much.
Screw Striker. He's clueless. At Banks Esports. Hashtag blame Striker for everything on HLTV.
Oh, okay. That's quite a long hashtag, so I'm probably not going to use it, but...
You don't use hashtags anyway. Shut up.
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong.
You actually don't. It's legit.
Well, I don't.
In before chat again, we'll be like, you're being really harsh to your co-commentator. It's called banter.
Yeah, no, it's mean. It really hurts my feelings. And every night I'm in tears, you know. Hashtag bully Banks.
Why are you then always coming to me for cuddles afterwards?
Oh, God. Okay, now this has gone too far. Back to the round, which is very exciting because they've just saved and gone for USBs. Bomb down, hoping to try and get somebody on these exits. And he is around the corner. I'm definitely excited to see him with that AWP. I think it's always a marvel to watch. It's been a shame that we haven't got to see it on like a sort of high level, high scale because of the qualification to these events. But they did make it here, of course. Now, they've taken a couple of players down. Actually, Henny's managed to get himself an AK, so he'll be able to probably keep that for himself, unless he's going to go for a glass cannon AWP, which I wouldn't be overly surprised. He looks like he's seen a ghost.
Maybe then the flash went off and he was like, whoa, whoa, okay, I wasn't ready for that one. Can we take that again? Henny having this AK actually could be a key component for it.
Well, it also helps them a lot when it comes to if they do lose this round and him just getting an AWP as soon as possible. So.
Yeah.
It's
the man you want it on. Though we did see in the earlier game that Yell was taking a bit more of the AWP under his control. It's the benefit of having two very capable AWPers on this team. And they're very different styles. That's what I love about this Luminosity lineup. Both Yell and Henny deliver in so many different ways on the sniper rifles.
Well, the man I want to be watching with the sniper rifle, Oscar, on the other side. Doesn't have any head armor, so a little bit more vulnerable. Chris J just around the corner, but he is going to open up. Gets the kill onto Neckers, and they have got complete mid control, and because of that, we're going to see the CT side with a bit of aggression of their own. Try and take control of another portion of the map. They don't have middle, so they need something else to their name. It's not really a map where you can just afford to give positions up and fall back. Otherwise, you're just going to get pincered from multiple directions. Now, they've going to hear the running from Stico, so that should actually give a lot of information as to the fact that they're not going to be going in this direction. And we may even see a rotation back from the CT side to give them a bit more presence towards B. And actually, in fact, it's more Steel pushing aggressively. He's gaining more and more information by the second. The further he goes, the more that we can see Yell going in. You see the flash through, though. That's a very risky play, considering you likely know they're going to be there. Henny on the site has now everything to do himself. They've got to be careful of the flank, of course, but if they can clear him, the round is pretty much over. The problem is, that seems to be easier said than done. Finally, he will fall, and Steel on the flank has everything to do. Unfortunately, Sunny is a bit too fast with the turnaround.
And the problem there was that, like, okay, you went to peek for information, then he stood there and fall.
The thing is, I kind of get the peek, but at the same time, if you have Steel coming around on the flank, you already know that they kind of have to be there, unless they're through mid. That's the only real thing.
And also, his teammate was not anywhere near to do a refrag, right? He was just in the actual site. So it had to just rely on it playing out as normal.
Too risky, basically.
Risk v reward, and there was no reward on that one for Luminosity, who are now finding themselves on the Deegs and a P250 in play. Chris J's got back on the Mac 10. He wants to be making that money. He wants to be making it rain. See, someone even said on Twitter now, with that singing, you will be casting a major in no time. Definitely don't think that's going to happen.
Because of the singing?
Yeah. I'd love it to be actual ability, not even the singing.
It's just like, the casting's awful, but because you can sing...
Let's go.
You'll be doing the opening. You'll be doing the next major song. It'll just be Banks with the mic.
Funny enough, I got screwed for doing anything to do with the London major, considering everything I've been involved in for the UK scene. Screw those guys.
I am not going to comment.
Yeah, don't comment. You weren't there either. I'm firing shots all days. Straight fire.
Well then, here we go. Henny trying to do a little bit of extra damage. Of course, he's going to have his AWP into the next round. Ready and waiting. Even gets a little bit of extra. He's got enough to buy it even without the loss bonus, and that's going to be hefty in itself. May even want to drop a rifle over. I imagine he may just keep the extra cash. Obviously, going into the next round, they do have the maximum loss bonus, 3,400 coming into their account, so plenty of money available to them. In fact, he's going to have 9,000. It's almost a bit weird to see someone with that much money. Like, I wonder if he could have invested into something more in this round. But at the same time, I suppose for later rounds, when they finally do win one, it will be that extra money that he has.
Play it smart, play the long game.
Did they get 2 straight in? Yes. Or did they go for 3?
They are not LDLC. This is Luminosity. This I am down for. Henny and Yell on AWPs at the same time is always a scare factor. And this is where they can start to become a little bit more unleashed. This is maybe where they pick up their first round. Let's see how much of a difference it does make here against the mousesports lineup, who so far so good for them. It's not been in too many of a dicey scenario. Yell ready for this to pop up, and Sonny doesn't even come up correctly in that situation. Rops, though, snuck his way out into mid.
Yeah, this could make things a little bit more interesting because he's gained quite a bit of space. It seems like the CTs, after that early boost, have just switched their spots up. Yeah, probably going to be attempting to watch more into middle later in the round if the position is actually taken, which it has been. The problem is Neckers only really has information in towards that highway spot. Now that's where the flashbangs are going in. Now if he peeks now, he just has a free kill because they haven't actually checked at all. And he can peek out without Rops being able to do anything because they don't know he's here. So...
Oh no, now he knows.
Smoke goes across. Oscar actually just going to fall back, so may not actually be the punish that probably should have come in. On the T side, they look like they're about to try and split back in towards the B side. Now, both players are sat on the site itself this time. There's no aggression coming in. Henny has his AWP. We'll be ready and waiting for the peak to come through. 35 seconds left on the clock, and it's a full rotation. All the CTs are coming, but Chris J just running along, wrecks off one player, Ups gets the other, and that defense is gone within seconds.
Absolutely great entry there from Chris J. You saw where Henny was looking, right? Into checkers, believed that someone was going to come from there. Still managed to get away with a bit of spam. Puts it into a 3v3. It's not unwinnable now, but that incendiary grenade's not going to push Chris J out of it. And yeah, they will just back away. They don't want to take this fight anymore. They know they're quite far down, and they don't want to be sat just on pistols. They want to have somewhat of a chance to come back into this. So this is going to be a 5-0 start now.
Yeah, a definite fall buy, of course, for Luminosity. 3 players surviving, 3,400 into their accounts. Henny can literally just buy straight away with another AWP, bonus, so it's not really that much of a problem. And in fact, Neckers already has like an incendiary, so he could probably drop over to Lucas, and he'll be the one with the extra utility. So it's not really that much of a problem for the CT side of the purchase. The bigger thing is the scoreline.
Henny goes to AWP again. Okay.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Oh, there we go. This is what I wanted to see. I've been looking forward to this all day. Really, I actually have been looking forward to this all day. I love watching Chris J use this weapon.
And you said Chris J doesn't scope, right?
A lot of the time.
Okay.
Like obviously, if it's beneficial, but a lot of the time he will just not use the scope because he does not need it.
Bastion, you know what to do.
Here we go, though. 5-0. Tactical pause taken by the mousesports side and. Or by the Luminosity side. Now we go into it's going to be round number 6. Now they want to get on the board fairly soon. Obviously, the loss bonus is nice, but
it's not what you want.
No, not really what you want. They kind of need those rounds at the top of the board rather than just the financial aspect of it, especially considering mousesports already have quite a big bank of their own. I'm going to see quite a bit of aggression over towards the B side early on.
Yeah, we're going to get one go up into vents. give him a different way to take that mid control. Nekkers is going to be the man. So they're changing it up ever so slightly here on the Luminosity side.
And it almost looks like they're just abandoning A as more of a retake. And to be fair, in the last few rounds, mousesports have been looking to try and challenge into B. And it's looking like they're going for a similar setup once again. Rops looking to lead the charge. He's got to be careful because there is a man up in the vents.
He should know that it's popped as well, and none of them have done it. Doesn't check it just yet. Nekkers, timing works out for him. Finds himself the first, but that molly's going to push him out. Chris J's got to be looking for it with the Krieg in hand. No one's going to give him an opening just yet. He has just been spotted. Sprays out the first. Nicely done. Tom's happy. One's come on to it.
Yeah, no scope needed. No scope, Jay. We'll see. Oscar already gets another opener, but Henny's still on the site. They've got to deal with him before they can get the bomb anywhere near. The remaining players were still watching for any sort of flank coming in. Obviously, Steel did that in the previous round. Another one from Henny, making it quite difficult for them, and they're actually going to go back. They're rotating. Now, the footsteps will definitely be heard by Steel. He knows all the information, exactly where they're going, and they can just play off the man advantage at the moment. Sonny and Sticko to try and hold on to this one. The problem is it's a double AWP in the retake. Definitely not the weapons you really want, but there's only one man to hold on.
Now it's all on Sticko. He knew Steel was coming from main, but he can't even get him in the duel. Still on top of it, ending it with the first 2 frags, and that's the first round there for Luminosity. Now they've got something to work with, and they kept the 3 alive. So money's not really an issue for mousesports. They've got a bit to play with. It's only Sonny that will need a helping hand. And I think the key thing there from Luminosity, right, they played it so well at the beginning on B, forced mousesports to run away as it starts to go wrong a little bit. Nekkers being in that vent was on point. It was just a direct counter to what mousesports were trying at that moment in time.
Yeah, they'd been pushing the B site so often that it just sort of came to the point where the CT side just went, you know what, we're just going to stick with more of a stack. And oh, look at this from Henny. Much more aggressive this time. Avoids the flash, but completely misses the shot. And that's sort of his game style, really, the hit and miss. His brother still looking to try and hold onto the site, but the Krieg will do the work and leave it into that 3v2 bomb. It's going to be planted. Steel, he should have been heard. Oscar knows it, but can't react fast enough. And now Yell is going to look to make his way into the site as well. Now, Chris J is somewhat here alone. There's a slow rotation coming in from Sonny.
Oh, this is huge from Sonny, though. The play. Good smoke from Chris J. So allow him to move in. Steel's waiting for it, though. Great awareness from Steel. These last couple of rounds, he's been the key man in charge. Flashes go up from Chris J. He's trying to save himself. Everyone's blind at the moment completely. What has he got to play with? Steel low on health, does go down. Chris looking in for the clutch. It's only an AWP on Yell. They're dancing around each other. He goes up high, but Chris J gets it done. Krieg in hand, and he completely destroys any economy that Luminosity were going to try work with there. Henny, he's still kept good money. Steel's in there as well, but they've got no round loss bonus ahead of them. And they can try force their way into it if they really want to, but it certainly won't be with that double AWP setup.
I think that's just the undisputed Krieg king.
Yeah, definitely.
I just, it's genuinely just enjoyable to see it, in all honesty.
J.
But, well, they are going to go for the investment back in. AWP onto Henny, Steel with a rifle, and then the remaining players left onto just pistols. This is a chance for mousesports to really run away with this first half. We could see 8-9 rounds before Luminosity even make it to 2. Well, we have seen some aggression, but Sonny seems to be more than aware. He even just jumps around the corner and still wins the duel versus Steel. And that's scarier just because that's one of the only 2 rifles that they actually have. The other is the AWP, which is glass cannon. The rotation is going to come in from Nekkers to try and bolster this A defense a little bit, but, well, doubt it'll make a huge difference. He's definitely not had the best start and now doesn't even have the weaponry to support him. And you can see mousesports, the second they get this opener, they just slow right down. They wait patiently. They know that the weaponry isn't really there for the Luminosity side, and they can afford to take a bit of time to chill.
And it is a chilling round at the moment. No one's moving forward just yet. Mousesports still being cautious, just in case any of the CT side want to push out. But Henny will find one onto Rop, so they're walking in towards the weapons. Or should I say, the weapon. And he's ready to look to do some more damage here, though. He keeps playing from similar spots. Chris, how the hell does he get away with it? That's just... But walks in the sight. Henny was ready to look at him. Okay, it was double zoomed in, but it's just the Krieg going ham.
I told you I was looking forward to it at the beginning of the game.
If this keeps up, this will be better than Amanex auto shot he plays.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Awesome. He's 12-2 at the moment. Well, it's not looking good so far for Luminosity. They're having to save what is the bare minimum in this scenario. Just a couple of pistols, not really that much reason for the T's to even hunt this one. And it was sort of at least a scenario where the money was a little bit low for the T's, but that isn't going to last for long. 4 players surviving in this round. As you can see, they're not even hunting for anything. You almost wonder if the CT side might want to try and get one of those weapons which went down on the site. Not going to be the case. Just holding on to what they've got in this round. It just has to be an eco. They can't do anything here.
And that is the problem Luminosity find themselves in. It's not a pretty sight. Economy's not been on their side. And the crazy thing here, Tom, is that this was the pick of Luminosity, right? And already mousesports starting to flex a little bit. Minimum they need is 5 rounds, Luminosity, just to stand a chance. Cash is a map that can be close, often 9-6s, 8-7 score lines across the board. Like we said, these puggier maps, though, seems to allow Chris J to just open everything up in front of him with that weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you do? What do you do against that?
Run away.
Oh. Not for Yell. He's going to run in.
He did run away from Chris.
Yeah, he ran away from Chris, but straight into the arms of his teammate. And what? Not really in the right positions here, the CT side. This is, of course, more of an eco round, just saving their money for the next. Neck is the only one with anything in hand. And while the CT side probably hoping they can remove a weapon or two, because the economy of mousesports is going to get to a ludicrous standard if this continues. Sonny just able to pad his stats a little bit, and Chris really just admiring his Krieg as much as we are.
It's that cheeky look of, look at it. And I've got my major stickers on there, boys. Yeah. Don't worry. This is the Krieg you want. The Krieg you need.
I will say it does sort of trigger me that the sticker doesn't stay just on the scope. Like, why does it have to go down?
Because Valve don't care about CSGO.
It looks so much... Yeah, but they still had to choose where the stickers go.
Yeah, and they just placed it anyway. Wherever Matey Boy put it, it was like, yep, done.
Just throw it.
Slam it on, that'll do. Job's a good 'un.
Well, second tactical pause for Luminosity. The first one didn't seem to make that much of a difference, I'll be honest, the way that things have gone so far. They managed just 1 round to the 8 of mousesports, and well, we talk about this being a game of momentum, and I think it's firmly in one team's favour.
Especially Chris. He's double the score of anyone on his team. Steele's the one trying to put up some numbers alongside Henny for Luminosity, but it's just not worked out yet. Some of these rounds have been close, though, right? They've come down to the wire on a couple of them, and it's just not gone Luminosity's way.
Well, yeah, it seems like when it comes to the B site, it's pretty much Henny has to just hold it with that AWP. And we've seen some sort of weird peaks coming in. Lucas hasn't had much luck when it comes to the fights. And then on the other side, a lot of the kills that we've seen from Steele have been in retakes. Because other than the sort of ecos, a lot of the rounds that we've seen from mousesports have just been going towards that B site. Because although, yeah, some of the rounds have been close, they haven't been stopped.
Now this is nice. Good run boost. Puts Neck is in an advantageous situation. Chris was looking up for it. Did manage to do some damage, but can't find the frag. So Luminosity for once here, getting the early lead. And that's actually really nice from Luminosity, right? You get that confidence first kill. You did it off the back of that boost that you haven't used yet. This was the opportune moment to come in and use it.
Yeah, bring something out of the trick bag. And, well, hopefully they'll get the treat of the second round on the board. The problem is there's still plenty more mousesports players to deal with that haven't really had to do too much so far because Chris J's been leading the way. Stico is going to meet the same fate, though, as Yell. Gives them a 2-man advantage, and the pop flash into A main leaves both players on the mousesports side blind. You've still got Rops lurking on the other side of the map, but as of yet, they really haven't gained any ground. The only real thing in their favor is that the utility's not great for the CT side, but they still have 2 smokes, which can be very painful whichever side they decide to go to, just to slow them down. And you can already see now that the Molotovs are getting expended. I wonder if Yell is just going to use that smoke. He's too busy homed in. Sunny finds the opener though, and actually Oscar's caught another. Still maybe a little bit too aggressive, and Oscar's just come alive. They needed somebody to step up in this round, and well, this man's always one that can do it.
That was a round that looked like it was almost guaranteed for Luminosity. Steele fluffs a couple of shots. It becomes a bit painful for him. A little bit of a fight going off here with Oscar. The Twins want to try and push in, but Sunny's having none of it. Takes down Henny, and he forces Lucas to run away. Try and live to fight another day, because that's the best they can hope for. It's literally going to be 9-1 now, and Luminosity, no money in the bank once again. It's the same old boring scenario for the Brazilian side at the moment, and you got to say mousesports, even when it's all stacked against them, they're able to get it done. And this could just be the difference in caliber of both teams here.
I just sort of sit there looking at that smoke just for Yell. Like, if he throws that down, they cannot get out there. It's just the fact that he has to sort of wide peak to be able to throw it. Like, he has to get back to quad before he can even throw it into it. So, had a bit of a chance there. It doesn't go their way. That's a 9th now on the board for mousesports. And while all that Luminosity can really invest into this one is those extra pistols, the most worrying factor about this, though, is that it's actually Luminosity's map choice.
Yes, that's the problem. Unless they've got an amazing T-side up their sleeves, or they win the rest of these rounds.
And even then,
it's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's a uphill battle, mountains to climb and all that jazz. But at least in this round, we're going to see a bit more aggression coming out from them. Yell getting nice and close. Sunny not going to expect it, and that may be a rifle into his hands. He's going to go looking for it at least. We'll retrieve it. Obviously, doesn't have any Kevlar, but Nekiz does. So if he hands it over to him, could be something extra for them to play with into this round. Obviously, not really close together at this point.
When Bastion was switched between Henny and Lucas, then it was like straight-faced, straight-faced flashbang, straight-faced flashbang, straight-faced flashbang. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, they do look very alike.
Well, that wasn't the point I was trying to make. That's kind of obvious. You know, being twins and all that.
Really?
Tom not aware of what twinning really is. Still, oh my, no, he just can't catch a break. That's 2 rounds in a row. He's done tons of damage, and he still can't pick up the kills.
Well, at least he's brought them low. 40 seconds left on the clock. Looking like we're about to see the split on towards the A site. Well, yell for help. That's all I can really say. The other 2 players.
Oh, he's got another
nice
one.
Shot. He needs to be able to take down one, but he's going to lose his life, and the remaining players are all over on towards B. Now, they do still have an AK onto Nekiz, and Lucas as well with the M4. Chris J is just going to be ready and waiting for them, though. They look to peek together. Henny plays the bait. I like it. He only had a pistol, so not that much to lose. Rops and Oscar's already low, so maybe it's Rops' turn to style on this Luminosity side. There's always been someone to do it. They don't have a kit. Oscar's there again to already pick off one. Looking for more. He's not finished, but will go down to Lucas. The question is, can Rops burn down this clock enough? They don't have much to actually retake this, but the Molotov is going to be thrown in. He'll be cleared out of that angle, has to peek, and Lucas will finish him off.
2nd round on the board, and it couldn't come sooner for Luminosity. Henny's going to pick up the creek himself now. He wants a go of it. God, that was right to the wire as well. Lucas AWP in hand. Oh, okay, he wants the AK instead. You don't believe in the magic weapon. Not as much as Chris, even though he's been doming your heads of it round after round, up at 13 frags at the moment. Tactical timeout, and rightly so for Luminosity. Where do we go from here? How do we stop ourselves from being reset once again?
Yeah, the problem is even after this buy, there's still going to be so much money left on mousesports, so it really is a tough scenario. I imagine Henny's going to pick up the 2nd AWP, so pretty much the buy that we know that they like to have over on this CT side. The problem is we just really haven't seen too much of them. Even just individually, it hasn't been a particularly good performance. We saw quite a bit of aggression in that round. That's what we saw catching out mousesports, like Sunny going down to the Deagle push and they're the sort of plays that you can only really get away with once.
Yeah.
Like, after that, Sonny's not going to be going around that corner, not expecting anyone to be there.
Yeah.
And also, it's not the sort of rounds you play when you have rifles most of the time, which I think could actually work a little bit better for Luminosity. Maybe try and take some map control, be a little bit more aggressive, use those AWPs, because if you just sit passive, mousesports are going to ruin you.
Ooh. Or Lucas is going to ruin Oscar. He's just tapping away through that smoke. Henny also had a forward position, so either way, they were looking to get that kill. And that's a little bit of a stylish setup for their B plays. And they won't expect Henny to be this far pushed forward either, I'm sure. Rops is scoping in with it. He's not going to win that duel either. Luminosity looking to try and get themselves a third as only Chris J and Sonny remain. They do have the bomb up, but Henny's just repositioning himself towards checkers. Jump comes in and he doesn't miss it. Henny, all the shots. Looking in for another. It's only Sonny left. He's just backing away for now. Doesn't want to quite take the fight. Yeah, grab the orb, potentially save that over, just to help yourselves a little bit more, because they did have a good bout of economy all behind them on the mousesports side, but it wasn't bucket loads. And this is 5 alive for Luminosity at this stage. If they can keep that, whew, that's massively going to help them, just when things are starting to look a little bit dire for them.
Yeah, the thing is, though, they really did just go for, like, huge amounts of aggression in that round. So, obviously, the play from Lucas at the beginning, not so much. But then after that, you had Henny obviously just pushing all the time. Yell actually made a peek into the squeaky door as well. So they just basically took individual fights and won every single one. Henny with the triple. And it's not necessarily the most sustainable way to play the game. But the fact is nothing else was working anyway. So why not try and catch mousesports off guard?
Well, Luminosity secure themselves the third. Could this be some sort of a comeback into this first half? Certainly what they need at this point. But how much can they keep this going? Henny's now not going to play towards B. He's heading over towards mid. Smoke goes down. So Neckers is pushed forward, and you've got Henny playing from white box, but Yell's going to be the first to fall, which means 1 AWP down. And that was, again, another aggressive position being taken. But this time, the mousesports players certainly ready for it. Like you said there, Tom, they will expect this from time to time as Stiko gets flashed out. Still have to reposition himself a little bit. Hopefully that was called in, though, so Rops can be aware, and he's right on the corner for it. Dome still no problem at all. So advantage still stays with mousesports. Henny, though, new position. Hasn't been here yet. Can he get some more damage done?
Yeah, the bomb in the meantime has gone rotating back, but it might not actually be the right call to make. The CT side have left a couple of players over on the other side of the map. Sonny trying to boost up over the top, spots Henny, and that's another just straight headshot coming out from mousesports. Do they hesitate? Do they swap back? That's the thing, because they've still got plenty of time. The site's already under their control. They may just end up having both sites. But the thing is, they know that Lucas isn't there. He's played on the B side every single round. They can make an educated guess, and the fact that obviously Sonny has just pushed all the way through, even retrieved an AWP and is just holding in towards that CT spawn in case he makes an elaborate attempt at a peek back in. Now, the CTs at least have a buffer of cash where they will be able to buy into the next round, but at the same time, it's a 10th for mousesports.
Robs burning Lucas alive and then just domes his head 10-3. And, well, Luminosity have got a bit of cash to play with, though. Them 2 rounds certainly did help them out here. But is it going to be enough? Because mousesports, they bounce back. And you've got to say for mousesports there, right, full control the whole way through.
Yeah, this hasn't even really looked like they've broken too much for a sweat throughout this match. It's in terms of the caliber of teams, this is what we expected. Even if they, or Chris may have believed that this will be a lot of momentum-based CS, they should just be winning this.
Well, we've seen crazier comebacks in Counter-Strike, but mousesports have definitely won the half. Bit more of a forward position again from Luminosity, so they're trying different things. That worked out on the first kill. Henny's got Lucas there, Nob Steel there even backing him up, and still goes down. Henny's still able to stay alive. He's just trying to flick out these shots. He desperately wants to try and get another. Can he walk away with a third? It would be huge, but Chris J says no. He's going to deny him the chance. He's going to deny him the opportunity. Rops looking to see if Neckers is there. Waiting for that smoke to fade away. Clearing out every single angle there. Calculated, ready. Rop's not taking any risks.
Yeah, the mechanical magician just checking the angles.
Oh, shadow.
Doesn't check. Or recheck after the smoke has faded. So that will give Nekkers and his team the man advantage. Still the bomb waits further back as Oscar's trying to probe in towards the site. Now, Lucas is going to be ready and waiting. Starts throwing out his utility to at least try and hold back the push.
Oh, he's just sneaking in.
Yeah, Oscar's just going to get right up close, takes one, knows there's another on the site, but nothing he can do about it, but at least this splits the defense for Chris. He doesn't know that there's still a man on the site, however. So it will be a fourth at least on the board, and the final round is going to be a bye for both teams. Plenty of cash still for mousesports to get into this round, but at least Luminosity in with a chance of 5.
Hey, that was Chris thinking, oh, okay, look, they're all definitely going to be at B now, no problem. And instead, Yell was there ready and waiting. 4th round on the ball for Luminosity, and it's certainly what they needed. They're spending up into this, and only 1 player on an SMG, which isn't too bad at all. Plenty of utility. It's mousesports are actually going to be lacking it a little bit. Nekkers wanting to go for the forward position with the SMG in hand. Steele went aggressive, but the nade comes out towards him. Oh, and Sonny sprays into Yell. Lots of damage, but he can't find the frag, which straight away will put mousesports at a bit of a disadvantage here.
Yeah, a couple of players have taken a pretty hefty tag in the meantime. Oscar's still looking to try and find an opener. He's been good so far. Interested to see if the CT side will go for any more aggression. That has been what's most successful for them in these games, making sure they have the advantage when it comes into these later pushes. Now, granted, they already have the first man. Smoke going to go down. They've got to be careful because Nekkers is up close. He's going to be lurking below. Chris doesn't check the angle and he meets the MP9 with a face full of lead. 45 seconds now, and T's really don't have any map control at all. That's the biggest problem. They haven't taken any portion of the map. They're almost still confined to their spawn.
They don't really have the information here, right? They'll know where Nekkers is, but he could have fallen back by now. Sticko's going up high. Still sprays out from white box towards Rock. Still advantage with Luminosity, though.
Yeah, this round is just looking very difficult for mousesports. They need to get both of these entries onto the site very quickly indeed. 15 seconds is all they have, and there's 2 men waiting for them on A. Steele just around the corner, goes down within seconds. It's on to Yell. If he even just drops the bomb, that's pretty much it over. There's nothing the remaining players can do. They can't get their bomb down fast enough, and it is going to be the round going the way of Luminosity. The clock is what wins the round. Yell does enough, and they get themselves a 5th.
Really well played there from Luminosity on the final rounds of this first half, but we're going to go in for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll conclude Cash and see if Luminosity can keep this up. Mousesports versus Luminosity here on Cash is going to conclude. Mousesports still heavily favored here by Betway, and rightly so. They looked very dominant on their T side. Now it's time for them to shine. We did speak, though, Tom, about Luminosity. 5 rounds minimum is what they needed. They managed to do it. They scraped by. Do you think this is enough now for them to kind of take this further?
No.
Wow. Wow. I expect some real, like, insights. Maybe. No.
I think they need their stars to align here. I think they need definitely more from Lucas if they're going to have a better performance on this map. He can be a man to step up, but they're running into the arms of Chris J. Now, he's looking to just fade away, but actually, Nekis gets the opener, and this is a strong position from the T side to try and fight from. It's going to have to be a retake. There is a kit in play and a singular flashbang for Stico to try and pop them back into this site. The problem is, with every single avenue covered by a member of Luminosity, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, good afterplant for Luminosity. Yell, not even going to get checked at first, but does end up going down to Rops, does a heavy amount of damage. Stico's fallen, Saz has Sunny. Oscar managing to get Nekis, despite Nekis being in a position to be ready for it. The problem is where's Stico's body, because no kit's being had there, and Oscar stands around for too long. Rops wants to live with that Kevlar into the next round. They were well aware they weren't going to make it happen, and this gives Luminosity a good opportunity now to come into the game and to get a few more rounds on the board. Yeah. After you said no, Tom.
I know. Doesn't mean to change my opinion. I think it's an important start, though, for them to get the pistol round, get a real build into this CT side. Now, not going to be much invested, of course, from the CTs for Mousesports. They just want to save their cash, make sure that they can come in with a purchase into the next round. We're seeing Luminosity as well, knowing that there's a buy coming in the next. Not going to invest too much into SMGs because they really don't want to have those SMGs. And well, Steel is going to be going down already. That's an extra little bit of cash for Oscar. Could lead to a glass cannon AWP in the next round. They obviously needed only $50, but he got 300 instead. Rob still has some Kevlar to play with, and actually Sunny now picks up another. So that's actually a rifle that's hit the deck. Obviously before that, it was only an SMG. Yell has to be careful because there's plenty more players trying to fight him with these USPs. And even just one more kill here would be a hugely successful round for Mousesports.
I want to try and grab one of those AKs as well. They've both seemed to have walked past it as of now. Stico, they're still on there.
Yeah, only a UMP.
Still, take it.
Better than nothing. We'll actually allow them some extra utility, which I felt like if there's any man who's probably going to be buying that up, it will be Stico. Even just sticking around to try and get an extra kill would be hugely valuable. Not only in terms of the fact that he would gain $600. Unfortunately for him, Yell is hiding, being a little bit sneaky, and we'll drop that weapon to the dirt. Of course, there's going to be enough money for a purchase into this next round for Mousesports anyway. It won't be the perfect buy. It's actually interesting. So it's both AWPers in this sort of like second round scenario managed to save an AK.
7 rounds now for Luminosity, and Mousesports tried to make it a little bit more expensive for them. Chris J straight on the AUG. And they are going to just go for the rifle setup here, so Oscar wasn't looking to drop it over to anyone. He wouldn't have had armor had that been the case, though, so this could be the smarter decision here for the CT side.
Of course, the T's, they don't have as much of an opportunity to build up money, so that's why we saw mostly AKs bought in the previous round, but it's also why when we look at the cash now, it really isn't in a strong position. They lose this round, they're going to be struggling to actually have a buy. Chris J, is in a bit of trouble here, only does damage to Lucas and actually loses his life instead. Stico now the lone defender of this B side, but the rotation's already coming in. Quite a heavy rotation, in fact, from Mousesports. Maybe just gambling on that B site with the save opportunity in if things don't go their way. Brops hoping to try and find a little bit more aggression out in towards mid, but Ops instead just to play it safe and smoke off that portion of the map.
Luminosity want to keep this advantage as well. The A site is being played for a retake, which means that Luma do want to head there. Change up their positions.
No.
Rops burnt out from both sides. Yeah, we'll be looking to try finish that if Rops wants to try escape. Tapping away through the smoke, but he won't find it just yet. Oscar, though, picked up a kill onto Lucas, which evens it all back up. Still not looking the right way. And he had his teammate, but his neck is backing him up from up high, but couldn't finish off Oscar, who's now swung the advantage in the favor of mousesports here.
Yeah, and look at the time and look at the positioning. 2 players on the B side, 20 seconds left on the clock for Luminosity to make their move. They've got to watch out for Rops. He does damage, doesn't manage to kill, but will they expect Sticko to still be in the backlines? If he just drops the bomb, that might be enough. They've only got 10 seconds left. They've got to retrieve it. They're blind. Another kill comes in for Sunny, and there's no way that Nekis can do this. He's got no time on the clock. It doesn't even matter if Sticko survives here, but he does. And all it really came down to was those couple of kills from Oscar, slowed them down a little bit, and then that bomb drop as well on the B site.
Yeah, Oscar, normally the man you see delivering with the AWP in hand.
He's got it now.
And now it's time for him to buy into it. But that AK did him well, saved over from the previous round. Luminosity just a little bit too slow. See the juggle up of guns being thrown around here. The start for mousesports. Oh, the tag from Oscar. Drops Henny down. He's not going to be happy with that one at all.
Yeah, you're going to have to... That's just the most tilting thing in the world. Because it's like, you can't even see your opponent.
You've got no idea.
It's just like, oh, I'm basically dead. Great. 11-7. And while that's not a bad way to start things off. And this really does just show how bad the economy situation was for Luminosity after just those couple of kills that came in off the back of those pistols, those USPs doing the work. CT side with, again, a strong setup over towards B and more of a retake being played on A. They've got Sunny just waiting with the AK to see if anybody throws in that smoke cross. And actually, Chris J is going to start a rotation back. It seems like they're, again, getting the read onto the site. Smoke actually going to go down quite late. And that's another thing that mousesports have been doing, holding onto their utility quite late. Note that over on the B site, in the game previously, when Rops was trying to escape, they had an extra smoke ready just in case. Here, they had it just to be able to take a little bit of presence. Now, there is a gap, but they're looking for players on the site, and, well, thanks to the map, we can tell there's nobody there. Chris J already holding the cross with that AUG. Nobody has the range that he has with that weapon. Manages one, and then also you got Sunny just holding onto the cross again. The clock starts to tick low, but it makes no difference anyway. The Finn will put them down and leave Luminosity with no money at all.
You saw Luminosity as they got through A main there, thinking, oh, okay, the coast is clear, we can get through this. Chris J just waiting at truck, tapping away with that AUG, and he literally just stood there while they were all firing at him. The confidence was in play as he racks up more frags, but this is nice from Chris. He knows they're going to be on eco. He's picked up the SMG. He wants to make some further bank for him and his team wherever possible, just because of how dicey it can get on the CT side in terms of economy.
Well, his gun does cost $50 more, so, you know.
Oh, you know, that's super
he needs
expensive.
all that extra cash. Otherwise, how's he going to afford all those decoys?
Because he's regularly buying into them.
Oh, don't know how Lucas has managed to get this far. Doesn't last long anyway. Stico will put him down. Oscar's added another. And Chris J is just looking to try and farm up some cash. He does just about hit the timing. There's a couple of players to aim at now, and Steele has turned his attention. Of course, this is all just a money-making scheme from Chris J, as there's absolutely nothing on the Luminosity side. They're rocking out with their Glocks out and hoping to do some damage. The problem is it really isn't going too well. Flawless round for mousesports, money made, and they are 3 rounds away from not only taking the map, but taking their opponent's map.
Yeah, crazy scenario to see themselves in, and this was it. This was our win condition for Luminosity, wasn't it?
Is it a crazy scenario?
Well, considering Luminosity have actually played so much better than anything we saw of recent times.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's just be fair. Let's be real on this, right? So, admittedly, they didn't have the most difficult opponents. They started off with a 16-11 loss to Liquid on Cash, and they played Avangard 1-2-0, and then they played E United, who E United didn't look impressive at all. But either way, it's still better than what we've seen. They were dropping maps previously in Pro League that they certainly shouldn't have, not with the ability of their players. So At least for me, this is a nicer looking Luminosity than we have seen. But Rops, he's looking real nice right now. Walks away with 2 kills. We'll just fall back. There's no need to push forward. He keeps the advantage with mousesports here.
Lucas and Yell, again, in a tough spot. And I feel like that's been the case for them throughout this game. We haven't really seen much of a step up, really, especially from Lucas. But Yell currently top of the board for his team. Not that that's really much difference between the top and bottom. Currently on the Luminosity side. We'll see if Lucas can have one of those rounds. It really is just pretty much as passive as it can get. He's all the way back, just staring at the truck, maybe hoping that he will gain some wisdom. Instead, Oscar, very well placed. They're actually looking to dual pick him, and in fact, he only gets the leg, so Lucas will actually open up the round, and there's nobody else over towards this A site. It has to be a quick rotation. Stico may not hit the timing here. It's all going to be about the cross. He spots out Lucas, which at least slows down the push. Now, that is actually the man with the bomb as well, so he needs to be the one to cross. Shot's actually not going to be hit, so it's looking like they will be able to make themselves onto the site. The fact is, though, Stico looking to actually peek in. His opponent left blind. Another flashbang to be had, which he will be able to throw out. Yell missing the shot. They line up, but only one for Stico, and you have to look at Rops with only 22 HP. Lucas has the chance, and well, there you go. He steps up, he takes the opportunity, and Luminosity are on the board.
A fair few of these rounds, though, where Luminosity do pick them up is like little performances like that. That was a 4K, right? It was the 3K. It's the big step-up moments, which you can't rely on.
No.
And this is where mousesports now, they can go, okay, look, we still get a rebuy into this. Money's not too hot, but we've still got a nice enough lead. We need to see Luminosity bring us that firepower they showed towards the end of the first half here and chain a few rounds together now. Yell's back on the orb. Henny having to opt for a Galil.
Well, that's the thing. The buy they have here already has a few limitations.
Yeah.
They lose this round, that's it. That's literally it. The money is just not going to be there, and already Oscar is going to kick things off. They've thrown in the double AWP. It wasn't bad enough that they were getting owned by the Krieg, the AUG. Now Chris has decided, okay, let's pull the big boy out. Let's get the AWP. And just section off another portion of the map. And they've got Yell on the other side with one in hand. We have seen that on occasions now where like there's certain positions, certain like points of the map where Yell will be taking it over Henny. I think the T side is the main thing, and there you go, just patience. Kills off Chris J, leaves Stico alone over on this B site. Now he's got the utility to at least try and slow any sort of push down. There is a rotation coming back in which could edge towards the vents, and the 2 players in middle do have a chance to try and gather these frags up. 45 seconds left for Luminosity, leaves them with plenty of time available. Fact is, though, they really need to clear this man off the site.
Yeah, Stiku's going to be the real thorn in their side here. He needs to be careful as they start to all come out at him at one time. Lucas gets the kill. Nades may go out from mousesports, but they're outnumbered as of now, and even further as Sunny hits the floor as well. 2v4 and Luminosity looking to get 2 rounds in a row and doing it with not the ideal set of weaponry or utility at the beginning of this round, especially in comparison to mousesports. Chris J going down early on as well is going to be a costly mistake for mousesports.
Yeah, Rob's just waiting to see if anybody will hand him a kill or make a mistake. Lucas is watching. He definitely has been impactful over the last couple of rounds. A 4K followed by another 2 in this round, and there's still plenty more to go. Is Rob's trying to go for some sort of ninja? He lines them up. There's actually a 3rd one. If he can somehow run onto the site, I don't think he has enough time. He's just going to retrieve an AWP, but that is a huge amount of damage that never should have happened.
Great work there from Robs. Hurting the economy of Luminosity. Okay, they're on the T side. It's less beneficial, but just taking weapons out of their hands, force them to rebuy, and most importantly, grabbing that AWP. You now have a double AWP setup on a round where you weren't initially probably going to invest too much into it. Now we see they get the FAMASs in, M4. What's Sunny going to go for? And still, you can get utility on all these players, bar Sunny.
And this is the final tactical pause that Luminosity will have in this map, so going to have a final chance to talk things through. Double AWP setup, as you said, will be in. Chris J, well, he started things off. It's just that he was actually not expecting the second player just to be watching the angle. It will still be ready and waiting for them here. Still, the pressure is on Luminosity as well. Now, if they win this round, they can actually get themselves pretty damn close to being back in this map. They lose this one, however, and they still have the hard reset in. All thanks to Robs. Bear in mind, it was a 4v2 when he just walked in, sprayed down 3 players and ran away. The level of impact he's had there alone could be enough to just finish this game off for mousesports. At the same time, they did have quite a big lead that has slowly dwindled. Bear in mind, we were looking at a 9-1 scoreline. It seems like maybe Luminosity are bringing this back.
It's not out of the realms of possibility as Sonny from Forklift's got some pressure applied towards him. Oscar can only get one and then he's done, but Sonny wants to try and get involved with the double from Yell. Rops, part of the collateral there. And this is the 2 different styles of AWP you see from this Luminosity side. Henny so fast and furious, while Yell a bit more calm and calculated. He's walked away with 4 kills for this round, and he's going to force mousesports to save once again.
Yeah, and now they finally actually will have to take more of a hit because they just don't have the finances. It is going to be an extra round of sort of 2,400, and actually they don't even get to keep that AWP. So this has to be the moment where mousesports opt to take the save. They've got a little bit of extra money onto Chris, so maybe he'll be there to sort of buy up an AWP in the next round, give that over to Oscar. But in all honesty, the Luminosity are back in this game.
You can never count them out, and mousesports need to play things a little bit more cautiously from here on out. Their lead is deteriorating ever so slowly. Lucas once again doing the usual towards B. Good nades coming out. Some serious damage put up on the board there. Stills managed to sneak his way into mid. There's 2 players around white box at the time, but they'll just fall back into the A site. Oscar pokes out. Won't be able to get anything done, though. Henny straight on him with the Mac 10 in hand, looking to get that cash. Yeah. And it is this just like waiting game at the moment for Luminosity because they don't want stuff like that to happen. Rops gets the kill, gets a gun, has something to play with here. And the bomb's still just out in the back lines of T mid.
Well, that's the biggest problem that Luminosity are having at the moment. They're never really building up any cash. So even just a single round coming in from mousesports could be enough to actually do the damage. And well, this is starting to get really scary. Rops has now found one through the smoke. He's done a hell of a lot of damage onto Neckers as well. Bear in mind, the rest of his teammates really don't have anything to lose here. This is getting way too close for comfort. Neckers is on just 1 HP, and Rops is just trying to do it all alone. Now, Yell, he's in position. They're almost trying to bait this out, give Rops the angle onto that AWP. The bomb will finally be going down. You can see the rotation from Stiko as well, looking to try and come in from behind. Chris J has retrieved himself a Molotov, which could actually just be used to force Yell out of position, but they don't manage to capitalize on the angle. He, though, is also tagged and gets caught by Chris J. Bear in mind, Neckers is still very low on HP. The flank coming in from behind. The problem is they haven't really done the damage, and Henny is still sat with the majority of his health intact. The main job for Stiko here, though, hold them into the site. Keep them there. Make sure that they can't exit through any of the angles. The safest is actually probably through mid, which really isn't the case, but I like that from Henny. A little bit cheeky. Sonny will still close out one and almost manages to close out Henny as well. He may even die to the bomb, and that's exactly what mousesports needed.
Yeah, cost them an AWP, cost them all their weapons. That was less than ideal for Luminosity, especially on a round where mousesports didn't have anything invested into it. 13-11 either way. Luminosity is still putting numbers on the board, but for how much longer? Mousesports now back on the double AWP setup. M4s across the board for everyone else. Plenty of utility to play with here. Have we seen mousesports take a timeout yet? I don't think we have.
No, I don't believe so.
They've not needed one. They certainly didn't need it on their T side. So they've still got a bit to play with if things do start to look bad. Oscar looking for the boost.
Ooh. I thought the Yell was actually going to catch him there.
I thought it was going to be the pre-fired standard spot and catch him trying to run away.
He has been very good with this AWP on the T side. Man who's stepped up for Luminosity. Lucas has also risen to the occasion. That's the reason we do see them coming back into this one. As said, this was a 9-1 scoreline in favor of mousesports. They had a hefty lead until we saw the sort of last few rounds, 4 or 5, going the way of Luminosity to get us to our 10-5 half. Still, though, these last few rounds have been so unbelievably close, even when nothing has been invested for mousesports. They just need that one. Lucas, though, patiently waiting, edging their way back towards B. Now, the site defense hasn't been working too well. You can see Chris J, his aggression has just sort of gone flat. He's falling back. He's staying on the site. They're going to try and burn this down. They actually still have a reasonable amount of utility. Stiko still has a smoke. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock, so he can look to try and just buy some time for his team to get in on the rotation. The Molotov's actually not going to work, and Chris J, he almost gets a double. He's doing the work from the site itself. 20 seconds left, and Rops is there to help him out. Yell, he may just have to save. There's only 15 seconds left. He's trying to run into the site, and he's going to miss the shot. That's all their weaponry gone. That's the one round the mousesports needed to put this to bed, because just look at the money.
Ruins. Absolute ruins. Mousesports, they've made every round costly for the Luminosity lineup, and this is what happens. They're going to be forced onto a Galil and a few pistols. They're fully investing into it, though. They've got plenty of utility to work with. But is this even enough to go against the mousesports? Maybe they won't expect something crazy like this. I'm expecting a fast play here.
Again, well, actually, they're more in a retake of B. It's only really Chris J here with the AWP. They do have a man in the vent, though. Stiko with the UMP has managed to come in from behind. And this is a perfect position. Now, bear in mind, most of the players there only have pistols, so it's pretty much an ideal weapon, but he's going to be caught out. And actually, Chris J has gone down as well. This is working wonderfully. The rotation will be in. Rops may catch the players actually looking to boost into the vent. He already gets one. May think that there's a second player there, but doesn't. Lucas gets him as well. Now, lots of damage has been done onto these remaining players, but you wonder if mousesports are actually going to want to go for this. Molotov may even be enough to finish off one of the players in the corner, but it doesn't quite do the work. Any of these singular kills could change the mind of mousesports into going for this one. Now, you have to be careful as well. Look at Yell. He's all the way around the back. He's looking to try and flank in on the remaining players. Lucas, is he going to be checked for? Right in this corner. Sonny looked like he was about to jump in, but may have just been told or made the decision. Lucas is seeing ghosts, or maybe his brother. Oscar's just trying to hold these remaining players into the site. Peak looking to come through. Now, not much to lose for Neckis, 1 HP, and, well, that didn't last long. And in fact, if you look at the actual weapons that are still there for Luminosity, even though they've won the round, they haven't actually gained anything.
Well, Luminosity at least are gaining a closer edge towards trying to bring this map back into their favor. The buy here for mousesports. Going to be a bit of a tricky one to try and work here. Chris J drops the P250 over until they really want to commit to it. So it's going to be up to Chris J and Oscar to really try and do some damage here and potentially turn this around. But you've got to say that was a huge round from Luminosity, just going straight into that B site. The mousesports players not putting up a defense at all.
Look at this gamble. They sent everyone over onto B and mid. The A site is completely open.
Funny enough, this time around, that's the closest where Henny wants to potentially put the bomb.
Yeah, it seems like mousesports have just decided that they're going to go for large gambles in this round, just keep switching up the plays, maybe take a little bit of aggression himself. He's got to be careful because there are multiple players waiting. Sonny's going to set up the flashbang, but doesn't actually catch anyone here. It's given him a little bit of an angle, but Neckis definitely knows that there's going to be someone around that spot. You can see his teammate trying to play a little bit of a bait game, and Chris J lightning fast. Can't do anything else though. His opponent blind, Yell just running in, and well, surely Sunny's gonna go down without much of a fight. Stiko has absolutely nothing to play with. The man really to watch will be Oscar, trying to hold the cross but can't connect the shot. Is given a second chance and he won't miss a second time. They still have to worry about Stiko as well. They haven't spotted him in the site. He doesn't have much to play with, but this USP just being a little bit sneaky in the back, if they don't check for it, it could be enough to actually do far more damage than might be expected.
Oh, this is huge. Walks in, gets one. Can't grab himself the AK though, and that's all he's going to be able to do. A nice attempt, a good position, but it's just not enough as Luminosity claw their way closer to the same score as mousesports, who, again, will be able to buy into this just because of the way it worked out and how they played it. But on all of these rounds that mousesports end up ecoing or having a save, they still do an extreme amount of damage to Luminosity. Chris J back on the AUG once again. Not much utility for mousesports this time around though. That could be the difference maker. Yell starting to edge his way forward towards this A-bomb site. Actually got some early pressure here. Oscar indoor, ready and waiting. So a slightly different setup here from mousesports.
Ooh, Sunny caught off guard, and that's a big problem for them early on in this. You almost wonder if they're just going to try and play off of it. Oscar with too many targets, may just try and get him through the door, and does. Catches that second player, great play from him. Now the problem is the bomb's somewhat alone. The remaining players were making plays through middle, and Rops will catch the other, leaving it with two players remaining, and they're looking hesitant. Henny just waiting to see if Oscar continues the push. I don't know why he would. Absolutely no reason to try and take the fights anymore. They have a two-man advantage, and again, the reset looms for Luminosity. Push will be coming in from Lucas. He's going to have to do something utterly ridiculous if he's going to make a play into this site. The brothers obviously don't really need to talk to each other. They can just be telepathic in their communication. Call him in from the other side of the map. Thing is, though, there's so much to do, and even utility being expended. Lucas does manage one in the second as well. There's the openers they needed. There's still another man to deal with, though. Rops peeks in, and Henny can't stop him. That's the problem. He's got a Mac 10. It's not ideal. Rops looking to just end this round, and he will do it just about. 15-13. It comes close, and Lucas gives it a damn good go. But still, map point held for mousesports.
That entire round, my face was just like Henny's picture. From Oscar in the door, all the way to that ability from Lucas to try and turn things around. My, oh my, Luminosity, they are gunning for this. They're trying to make it happen, but it's just not enough. They've got one of these crazier buys out again. It worked from when they pushed into B. They look to maybe try it again here.
Yeah, Chris J.
With the scout as well, Chris.
Yeah, the problem is he's getting overwhelmed. Stiko has at least managed to find another. He needs to do some more damage, and he is doing it as well. And he's actually reloading, but eventually Steel will be there to find the kill. The fact is, though, that was the two players that didn't have the weaponry. Now, Rops, he's been caught out before playing around this vent, and this is not a position where he can afford to make that same mistake. This is their chance to end the game. Henny obviously still only with a Mac 10, doesn't even have head armor, so one bullet will be enough to do the job. Steel just waiting patiently. They've got time. That's the one thing they do have on their side, but the Molotov looking to clear him out, and he has to peek into the angle. Sunny with the smart decision to force him out of play. And now Henny, well, he's not even bothering with the Mac 10. He wants to try and hit those 1-digs. The problem is there's still 3 players from the mousesports side to deal with. Not much hope for him in this scenario. They are actually going to start the rotation, maybe back towards the vents, just to try and keep an eye on that bomb. The fact is, mousesports don't need to make any sort of play here. They just have to wait patiently, and Oscar does just that. 16-13, mousesports, they close out a game which was in their favor for the majority of the time. And while we know that up and coming is a map that they have to take, which is Mirage.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mirage was a map as well, when we come to it, that mousesports have been known to play so well. But this cash game was so dominant from mousesports early on. Yeah, Luminosity started bringing it back, really trying to, towards the end, make it a 10-5 when we were really looking at an 11-4 scoreline. And then coming into their T side, they actually had these rounds which were kind of impressive, but because of the way mousesports did so much damage across many of these economy rounds, and I can see you just smiling from the Krieg shots here, Tom. He's loving life when he's watching these.
I really like watching.
It was stylish. It was good from Chris J. But I think the big win there for mousesports was, had they not micromanaged Luminosity's economy for them, they would not have won this map.
Yeah, that was the big thing, that every time they were losing a round, it was so close that when they finally won one, it just wrecked the economy. And even then, Luminosity still managed to win themselves the force by a good turnaround, in all honesty. I was impressed with how they managed to play this map. The problem is, now they go into what has been the bread and butter for this mousesports side for as long as I can remember, really. It's been a long time with this roster that they've really enjoyed this next map. And the fact is, they've had their heavy hitters going. Both AWPs have been playing well. Oscar and Chris J. Rops is up there as well. Okay, Sticko, he's at the bottom of the board, but that's sort of what we expect in a way. That's when the scoreboard's looking like that. That's normally when mousesports are winning. Maybe it's not in the same sort of fashion that we would have liked to see if they're going to be the more dominant play, but at the same time, they got the win, and now they go into their choice.
Well, before we get on to Mirage, it is time for that quick break. But one thing to note for Luminosity is they've actually only won one game on Mirage out of the recent 6. And that was
they'll just do an LDLC
problem here. Yep, they'll prove us wrong by looking at those results. Find out if they do prove us wrong, though, because mousesports will look to take this 2-0. But Luminosity, they've got the fight in them. Can they get it done on Mirage? We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll find out soon.